Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and in today's video I'm going to be trying to answer the question, which tank should all of my audience that watch my streams over the next 3 months choose from the Twitch drop store? Should they get the T78, the Poodle, or the heavy tank number 6? Because a big thank you to Wargaming for making the Twitch drops go into their second iteration, where everyone who gets them from watching my stream over the next 3 months is going to have access to tokens to spend in the store for a variety of things, either the premium tanks, or if you don't get that many tokens, you get yourself styles, premium time, 5 times experience, or alternatively some premium consumables. Now, I didn't talk about this Twitch drop store, even though it was available in January, February, and March for the first iteration of the campaign, and that's because it was only available on the European server. But I'm really proud to announce today that thanks to, I guess, badgering from all of the content creators, the Wargaming have made this available on the Asia server and the North American server as well. Now, as someone who always tries to be super inclusive to my international audience, one of the things I'm most proud of around here, I wasn't ever going to really talk about this or let you all know about it until it was truly worldwide. About 1 in 4 of my audience were actually tuned in from the States. And so how could I come here on YouTube and really highlight this unless it was available to everyone? I guess apart from the Russian server, so apologies for that. Now, I'm not going to go into great detail today about how you need to link your account up if you choose to come and watch my stream. Wargaming already have lots of articles which will enable you to be able to figure out how to do that. But what I will do is highlight my schedule for the next 3 months on Twitch, where I'm going to be pretty much guaranteed to be streaming on Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. So there's more than enough time for you to come along, link up your Twitch account to your World of Tanks account, and be able to get those tokens, to be able to get whatever rewards you want, or just to laugh at me as I try to play World of Tanks, which is a challenge in itself. Okay, let's get down to business and actually play the tanks that all of my audience are going to be able to get their hands on if they watch over the next few months. Why don't we start with the Polish Poodle? This is a tier 6 premium medium tank, and I believe it was the first Polish tank in the game. Oh no, I think it was, unless I'm just going absolutely crazy. The Poodle is pretty much just a Polish version of the VK3001M, I believe the tier 6 German medium tank. It's not a vehicle that I play all that often, but it is still a very solid tank, and let's see if I can actually do well in it today. Or I'm going to set this thing up with vents, gun rammer, and coated optics. I haven't got any of the field mods in this thing, but if I did, I might try and focus on either having a combat setup for my close quarters combat maps, or alternatively trying to really ramp up that view range or even my camera rating on my more sneaky maps. So the Poodle, it's actually quite proficient at side scraping as long as you're not side scraping against 122mm caliber guns, because this vehicle only has 40mm of side armor. So just watch out for that. But it's kind of like a bit of a bully. In this kind of a matchup, it could be a little bit more tricky. When you're playing against those juicy tier 4s and tier 5s, you do feel as if your gun and your hit points and your armor mean a lot more than in a scenario like this. But we should still be okay. I'm just wondering about the Poodle and what kind of DPM the tank gets. It's not particularly outrageous. 1,928. It's pretty okay. It's not like the best DPM you're ever going to get your hands on, but it's also not the worst at the same time. When I play this vehicle, it's just about being that like all-round performance tank. Just try and get into a position where you don't want to like jump in full-heartedly because you don't have the armor to be able to go along with it, but you still want to get stuck in. There we can see there's the Britannia Panther, which is pretty much just the French version of the Poodle, I guess, right? Or you could argue that the Poodle is the Polish version of the Britannia Panther. All right, let's make our way forwards and see if we can go after our opponents here. Yeah, a bit worried about the Chi-Ri and the Panther M10. The Panther M10 is just a better version of this tank with preferential matchmaking at tier 7. And the Chi-Ri, well, if that thing uses its little autoloader on me, it's going to be doing 330 damage within 2 seconds of the first shot. I might just give this SG-100 a little bit of a push up the slope, try and get him into safety, try and maybe auto-aim across at these light tanks. So when I'm playing on Mannerheim line, I do like to be aggressive forwards early on in the battle. But again, I got to worry about that T-43 or the Panther M10 or the Chi-Ri. It's not really going to work out for me if they do catch me out. But what's worse than being caught out? Not committing. Okay, I see the Panther M10 towards the south. So I'm actually going to make I was thinking about making an aggressive play, but there's a Poodle on the enemy team who's already got me. So yeah, I was thinking about making my way up there and trying to go hold down against my opponents, even though this thing doesn't have the best turret, but it didn't work out well for me there. All right, Mr. Poodle, we're going to play. Am I going to go aggressive? Am I just going to let this T-34-1 do the business? And talk about doing the business. He is doing the business, right? He's absolutely smashing through that Poodle. That is one of the best medium tanks tier for tier in the game, by the way, the T-34-1. It's an outrageous vehicle. Very, very, very strong indeed. Okay, so there's a Tiger 131, which I'm kind of a little bit concerned about, and there's the Chi-Ri. Is the Chi-Ri aiming for us? I guess he is. Maybe I'm going to try and get a shot into this Tiger. We can. We lose our engine and our tracks with the very first shot that hits our tank. I'm going to greedily keep my repair kit on the tracks. If I'd got hit by a tank destroyer, I wouldn't have looked very cool there, would I? Okay, it looks like the Poodle drowned himself. Okay, well, I'm not really painting a very good picture of this tank so far, boys and girls. So am I here to try and like let people know about the awesome tier 6 premium tanks that you can be able to get inside the Twitch drop store, and then we see they drown themselves in a dip? Yeah, that wasn't meant to be in the script, right? Anyway, let's see if we can go after this Tiger 131. He should be just around the corner here. And there we go. One in the booty. Hopefully no low rolls. And I low roll, so I lose another 200 hit points. This tank has 135 alpha damage, and of course I had to leave him on a good amount there. Chi-Ri's fired one. Artillery could hit me. Feel like I have to be aggressive. I'm going to ask this T-34-1 for help. I don't really want to get caught out by the auto-loading Chi-Ri, right? There's one. There's one. I think I should be able to get him in time. Oh, Artie, thank you so much. Oh, goodness gracious, we're losing a lot of hit points here. Oh, this isn't going according to plan. Hopefully we can still get this Hellcat. Oh, T-34-1 manages to secure the kill. Alright, well, this was about as a balanced game as you can probably expect in World of Tanks. Unfortunately, the M12 managing to do 276 damage to me. There he is! I will have my revenge. Shall I go for HE on him? Oh no, it didn't even pen. Second shell HE will, though. Only 75. What am I doing with my life? I should have just been firing AP all along. I got baited by intuition. Okay, we found out this thing doesn't have very good HE rounds. Should have just gone with the AP rounds there. Okay, so they've got an AMX in the corner, and they've got an artillery doing his little chill thing. When you're a one-shot, I feel like I just have to wait here and, you know, let my light tanks go in and spot. Alright, definitely not the best game for the Poodle, but the matchup wasn't particularly wonderful, and a sub-4 minute game. They do happen in World of Tanks, those sub-4 minute games. Oh, there we go. Oh, come on, baby. Let's hit some shells. Let's hit some shells. There we go. One more. Ah, that's life. All right, that's the Poodle. Not even 1,000 damage in the Polish medium tank. But, it happens. If I hadn't low rolled against the Tiger 131, I would have had the hit points to be more aggressive. If I hadn't got hit for nearly 300 by the artillery, I would have had the hit points to be more aggressive. I think you're seeing where this is going. Nevertheless, not the worst game I've ever played in my life. Let's see if we do make some credits here in the Poodle. But we also need to keep in mind that I'm doing some missions, so it might exaggerate the credits income. So what do we make here? It says 81,000 credits, but 50,000 of that was because of an event. So don't think that you're going to be making 76,000 credits profit a game. No, this was a 26,000 credits profit game. Not too bad. Didn't have to fire any gold in this scenario. It's just a whatever game. It's just a whatever game, if I'm very honest. Okay, so let's talk about the other tank that's available inside the Twitch drop store, and that, well, the other two tanks, and that is, why don't we play a game in the T-78? All right, so the T-78, it's a tier 6 American turreted tank destroyer that kind of feels a bit like the Jackson or the Slugger. It does have this awesome style. I'm not sure if this is a style or if this is just the way that the tank looks. Anyway, how am I going to set it up? I'm going to set it up with a gun rammer, a rotation device, and I'm going to set it up with binoculars. If I had a second setup, I would probably have one which drops the binoculars, maybe to use a turbo or a durability device. This thing actually has a really good gun available on the T-78, and it trades very well. How can you go wrong with a 90mm on the T-78? Why don't I show you a few of the statistics as we're loading into the battle here. This vehicle actually has the best win ratio of the trio currently on the Tomato GG website. So enough view range that if you have a really good crew, you could probably get away with coated optics instead of binoculars. So already a little bit of a fail there by me. I should have loaded in with coated optics in this game. My gun depression of 10 degrees is wonderful. The vehicle's really fast, actually, for a vehicle that has such a nice gun. A bit like a Hellcat, but a Hellcat that just has way better kind of gun feel and gun handling. But it's not quite as fast as the Hellcat, so you've got to watch out for that. All in all, the T-78 is just a great, all-purpose, flexible, damage-dealing tank destroyer, which is why the vehicle does so well inside the game. Unfortunately, when we're in a matchup like this, where we can't use any of our gun depression on Ensk, it can be a little bit tricky. Nevertheless, let's go for it anyway. Where am I going to set up? I could, there's a few positions I could go. One is I could just start here and try to spot down the alleyway with my binoculars. Two is that I could try and make my way up towards here and try and use, there's a little bit of a gun depression position I can use in a bush as well. Yeah, I might do that actually. I think that might be what I go for. Definitely wishing that I was using a different crew on this vehicle and that I had coated optics. There's really no need to be using binoculars if you're using a premium consumable and you've got an incredibly good crew for this vehicle like I do, because I've been playing quite a few games in my American tank destroyers over the years. So usually you can be able to get a spot on something that goes across here, and there we go, and we're gonna nail him. Is he just gonna sit out in the open for me? No way. Okay. Well, that was easy. This thing actually hits pretty hard for a tier 6 TD, right? Not incredibly hard, it's not like an SU-100, but you can see how the damage stacks up really quickly when you hit for 240 compared with the Poodle, which is hitting for 135. But of course, your rate of fire isn't nearly as good with this tank, and you'll notice the damage per minute is significantly worse with the Poodle. With the Poodle, you can get yourself vents, you can get yourself a gun rammer, and that really does help stack up the damage per minute. Really, really wish I was using coated optics in this tank, not going to lie. This kind of static gameplay where you have to set up your binoculars is really not cool, so don't be an idiot like me. However, if you're a free-to-play player out there and you can't use premium consumables, or alternatively, maybe you just don't have the best of crews, then you're probably best to use binoculars on this tank. And considering it has a fully traversable turret, it's not even too bad along with it. Hello, Mr. Ram, what's up? Dang. DPM letting me down there a little bit. Where did the Ram go? Is he coming back for more? Wow. Isn't the Ram a Canadian tank? I'm pretty sure it is. Well, that guy's going to have to apologize to his team for the way that he played. What are you doing? This is a good tank. I would probably actually pick this one over the Poodle. But there aren't that many Polish premium mediums in the game. Not everyone has the CS52 lease. Oh, this feels really good, this tank, actually. Alright, so this game's actually pretty close. It's not like the previous one where we were just rolling over our opponents. I might actually have to do something here. Okay, is there a T-78 behind the wall? There is. Oh, I only hit his tracks. That's a disaster. Got to be careful here. You can't take too many shots. And that T-78's looking like he's not an idiot, to say the least. Not an idiot. Scary players. Shall I see if I can hit this AMX? I think I should be able to get the kill. Oh, this guy's pushing out right now. Oh, hopefully I don't low roll. I leave him on 1 hit point. Can you honestly believe it? Oy, oy, oy. Oh, I got to be careful that I don't get tracked multiple times in this vehicle. Oh my lord, not like this! This game was going so well, and now it's not. But nevertheless, my team are very far ahead, so I guess as long as I don't get tracked here, I should be okay. There's the Chinu. I'm just going to wait. He's stunned, and then if I come out, he'll probably track me, but I should be able to kill him. I'm low-rolling everything that matters! Come on, son! How many tanks am I going to leave on less than 10 hit points? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and I get absolutely clapped by the artillery again. Nevertheless, 2,000 damage, 900 assistance. That is a good game of World of Tanks. And my team are going to just be able to hopefully finish them all off. I cannot believe so many low rolls costed me so many hit points and also a couple of kills. But that's the beautiful thing about, well, not the beautiful thing. It's one of those things about World of Tanks, right? You don't realize when you're high rolling, but you definitely realize when you're low rolling. And even though this Excelsior is a darn good vehicle, he's not darn good enough to be able to get through this one. And easy. Gosh, quick games today. Guess this is going to end up being a quicker YouTube video, right? Well, decent round for the T-78. This one's actually really good. I like this tank. I like this a lot more than the Poodle. I feel like the Poodle's just a little bit big, a little bit cumbersome, and just not very different to a lot of other vehicles. This one actually feels like it's quite different to a Hellcat. Definitely feels a lot more responsive. It kind of feels like a Hellcat with just better gun handling. At least that's what it feels like to me. Nice, look at that. A cheeky high caliber medal for this game. I wonder what kind of a crew I'm using on this vehicle and why I'm not using one of my better American crews. There we go, number 1 on Damage and Experience. Apparently I'm using my T-67 crew on this vehicle, so I guess that's why I'm not using coated optics. If I was to actually have a crew where my commander had recon and situational awareness, then coated optics would be king on this tank. So I really liked this one. I think the T-78 was great. I need to just triple check about whether this is like a specific style for this vehicle or not. It looks like it is, because if I was just to click remove, yeah, it is a style. I can't guarantee that the style will come with the vehicle. I think it was for some kind of a mission marathon event. But it's a decent tank, like the T-78. I think it's a good one. Alrighty then, so ladies and gents, boys and girls, the final tank that people are going to be able to get their hands on inside the Twitch Drop store over the next few months on my stream on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby will be Heavy Tank number 6. So let's talk about Heavy Tank number 6. This is, to all intents and purposes, the same tank as Tiger 131. It's a tier 6 Japanese Tiger. And is it a good vehicle? Yeah, I think it is. It's got a huge amount of hit points. It's got a really nice pokey gun. I'm going to use vents, gun rammer, and a turbo on this tank. If I had all the field mods, I would probably have one setup where I dropped the turbo to be able to use a durability module to try and amplify those 1060 hit points. Or alternatively, what I might do is I might actually drop the turbo or the vents or even the gun rammer to have more of a snipey setup with some better view range. So what is there not to love about a Tiger at tier 6? Everybody loves Tigers at tier 6, right? It's one of the reasons why I started to play World of Tanks, was to be able to get the Tiger, albeit at tier 7. So to be able to play it at tier 6 is great. What are the nice things about this vehicle? Enough view range with coated optics to be able to spot for yourself. Okay mobility, but you can amp it up with a turbo on this tank. The DPM is wonderful. And yeah, 1000 hit points. It's so crazy to think that tier 6 tanks have 1000 hit points, whereas back in the day, all of you old school players will remember tier 6 tanks having like 600, 700 hit points tops. And the step up from tier 6 to tier 7 was so dramatic back in the day. It's one of the reasons why playing tier 7 tanks back in the day was so cool, because you really felt like you could bludgeon your way through those lower tier vehicles. My word, talking about bludgeon my way through, it's taken me a long time to be able to get through the queue time here. This is going to be a significant challenge, ladies and gents. I'm on steps, but it's steps assault. And this vehicle is basically just a big old bag of hit points with a brutal gun. 220 alpha damage, I believe, on this vehicle. More than enough penetration to deal with everything. But it's going to be very tricky to be able to actually assault. So, hey friends, we need to take the corners. I can't spell corners. Oh, we need to take the... Hey friends, we need to take the corners. Take the flanks first. Literally, you saying that at the start of the game, I feel like really helps with this map. Because what the worst thing that you can do on this map is to do what these players are doing, where they just drive into the middle. It's awful. No offense, because they're all just, you know, low tier players. So, but by driving into the middle, you just expose yourself to the flanks, and you end up just getting yourself absolutely wrecked. So don't do that. Take the flanks. Take this position. Push in here to the D1 area. Then you can flank round, and then you can start to make an attack on the enemy base. Just going into the middle of the map into this kind of like mid-tier kind of battle royale system. Oh, I actually end up hitting a VK there. Oh my gosh, I got spotted by that Type 64. I might lose all my hit points before this game has even begun. You're meant to drive over there and get round the ridge and then get safe, but I ended up getting distracted like a big donkey. Luckily, I managed to get away from my misplay. I was getting distracted so much by all those players in the center of the map that I'm not even focusing on what I'm meant to do, which is to be able to make my way around here. Alright, I get spotted. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to swing up here where the Easy 8 isn't going to be able to hit me, but I can hopefully still hit that Super Chaffee. And I'm going to start making this gun work. Because I can tell you, this is what Tigers are about, right? Big guns, brutal shots, lose your driver. That's not what it's about, really. And if you can manage to hit enough of your shells in with this gun, yeah. The enemies are not very well, to say the least. So I've got to make sure I'm in a position to try and help my friends out here. There's a KV-1S at the back. Their artillery's trying to get me. Luckily, my armor actually worked for a change, which is a miracle, because this armor doesn't usually work. And my gun is just refusing to actually work right now. There we go. I'll out DPM this player. I'm just going to keep firing. We'll trade, KV-1S. We'll trade. That's the enemy tier 6 heavy. If I can manage to get him, it'll be great. I think I need to get forwards because otherwise the artillery is going to continue to shoot me. And if I get a little bit of cover here, that maybe I can be able to make it work out a little bit more. I think I actually need to swing round here. Try and develop the crossfire on my opponents and try and make sure that this Chaffee doesn't manage to get me there. There we go. Easy 8. OI. I'm in a lot of trouble, by the way, YouTube. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, this one's a bust. I got double ammo racked, even though I've got safe stowage on the vehicle. Might lose my turret in a second. I guess I got one more shot, then it's garage. One more shot, then garage, I guess. Oh no, no, no. Maybe one more shot, then garage. Ah. Oh well played to the enemy team. My team doesn't believe in taking flanks, apparently. But maybe, just maybe, my distraction on this northern flank is going to allow my team to push in through the side. So 1,500 damage here in a 3-minute round for me. I'm still happy more or less with what I did. I really wish this VK had maybe committed while I was still alive. But unfortunately, while the Japanese Tiger is a great vehicle, when there are absolutely busted tanks like the T-3485M on the enemy team, it's a little bit rough. But I'm rooting for my team on this flank. Cap fast! Cap fast, friends! Cap fast, friends! Take the cap! Come on, boys, you can do it, I believe in you! Make the Japanese Tiger's sacrifice on the other flank not be in vain. Come on, you can do it! Get me a win, I believe. Can we go 3 for 3 in the tier 6 premium tanks today? Maybe. That T-3485M is racing across with fervor here in this scenario. While I guess my 3 light tanks are playing the distraction role. Uh-oh. I really hope that T-3485M doesn't interrupt this. Oh no, don't let the OI, don't bait the OI, don't let the OI across. Why did you leave the cap? I guess they're so hungry for damage. Not like this. Kill all. Kill a lol. Okay, we're going to see whether my team are going to be able to kill a lol, or whether the T-3485M is going to be able to take this one down. Well, it actually looks like this T-3485M is very good when he's got friends and not very good when he doesn't have friends. So, okay. GG, well played. That was a good game. All right, so we cap out. The Japanese raid boss is in the middle of the map, making that Cromwell look incredibly small. And yeah, a good game. 1,500 damage is decent for a tier 6 tank. Now, imagine if I'd had just a couple more vehicles on that flank with me. These things are voracious. They got great DPM. This one especially, 1,885 with this alpha is decent enough. And if you can get into close quarters combat, then it doesn't really matter if your accuracy is poor. Honestly, the 3 vehicles that Wargaming are putting out into the Twitch Drop store are awesome this month. So for everyone who tunes in for May, June and July, hopefully it'll be a good opportunity for you to be able to pick up a premium tank. Now, let me clarify. You're not going to get it for just watching a single stream. No, Wargaming a little bit more sneaky than that, right? The way that the system works is you can get missions via watching the stream, so then you can be able to do missions inside the game to be able to get the tokens. And I think you're able to get yourself about 10 tokens a week, so you will have to watch and complete missions every week if you want to be able to get yourself one of the tanks. I want to be very upfront with that. But for everyone else who maybe just wants to watch more casually and buy the smaller rewards for tokens, or even just get yourself some premium time off some 5 times experience missions. If you've already got the tanks, then that is pretty cool as well. So to explicitly answer the question, which one of these 3 vehicles would I recommend my audience to choose from the store if you don't have any of the vehicles? I think the T-78 is probably the best one here. It's this wonderful combination of being a flexible tank destroyer, and not a lot of tank destroyers at tier 6 are very flexible. And whenever you can turn a tank destroyer into a tank that can be more impactful in other areas of the battle, then you're massively improving your team's chances of being able to win. So I think the T-78 is actually the best pick. And it's very convenient that the T-78, I believe, is actually the only one that costs 90 tokens. The other 2 vehicles cost 100. I'd say of the other 2, I'd personally say the better one is going to be Heavy Tank number 6. It's that combination of DPM with enough hit points and that kind of heavy tank power that can allow itself to bully its opponents. It's not going to be the best tank you'll ever play. It's a decent one at that, and it's great for training up your Japanese heavy tank crew. Alternatively, the Poodle is your ticket if you want to train your Polish medium tanks, but it's very likely you might already have a premium medium tank that is already like the Poodle. But unless you have Tiger 131, there's nothing quite like Heavy Tank number 6. And trust me, a Tiger feels way better at tier 6 than it does at tier 7. Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that was it for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And I'd like to say a massive thank you to Wargaming for creating this event on behalf of myself and also all of the other content creators out there who stream on Twitch. It's wonderful to be able to give back to the community, and thank you so much for listening to our feedback that we want the content to be available worldwide. Because at the end of the day, at least for the English community contributors, we are not local to a single server. We are international. And once again, I'd like to give a massive thank you to all of you out there for enabling me to have this awesome worldwide community. It's an absolute privilege. It's fresh and exciting. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you on one of the streams over the next few months. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.